Hello YouTube, I like to show you my Thane Heins transformer replication. So, on this draw you can see what I did. Primary coil, primary side, secondary side, first coil, secondary side, second coil. Now you can see parameters of these coils. I don't know how much turns in some first primary side, because I used just coil which was on this transformer already done before. Now this is a replication. So here is first small primary coil, secondary side, first coil, secondary side, second coil. As load I am using these 10 pieces of parallel connected resistors. Every each has 1 ohms, so they are 0.13 ohms. One. Second, as power source for primary side I am using this auto transformer, and I am measuring with this analyzer power input on the system. The secondary side I am measuring by electroscope. I am using 2 current probes and 2 voltage probes. First voltage probe and this current probe calculates RMS value, voltage, current, and there is calculation output RMS value of power output, and the second coil is calculated by scope 2. So at this moment we have input voltage just 3 volts, because I can't use bigger current as 4 amps, so now we have 1.9 amps on primary side. For this experiment it's not good, this constellation. There is better to use high impedance coils or bigger impedance, but for me it was impossible to make, so I did something like this. But maybe in future I try. Originally Thane Heins in your video used higher impedance coils, but anyway, for this demonstration is enough, good enough too. So now there is not nearly nothing on output, so I use load on first coil, secondary side, so there is a little bit bigger voltage, but still small, and output power to resistor load on first coil, secondary side is low too. But now I'm going to connect this load on secondary coil, second coil, secondary side. You can see it's a little bit noisy, more noisy. And what happened? Bigger voltage, maybe 10 times or 8 times bigger, and this is output on first coil, output second coil. But this is not miracle, it's normal that if you use transformer and we put load on secondary side, there is bigger current and bigger power on primary. But for us, this first coil is primary side for second coil, so bigger current here means bigger output energy to this resistor. And maybe it's interesting see what happened with power consume. So this is active power input, and I can use, this is reactive power. active reactive. Now as I disconnect, so you can see there is bigger current. And connect again. Sorry, wonderful. Now it's connected. Second coil on secondary side. Disconnect. So I wanted to show that when we use load of secondary side, second coil, there is bigger power from first coil secondary side and bigger power output, but there is no big impact on input parameters, input power, but it's still is not the best, and I prefer to use for future higher impedance coils. You can see noise in that touch, so mechanical connection is not good. Anyway, maybe somebody put some ideas what makes this experiment better. So I'm happy, and thanks for everyone who is going to make some relevant comment if you see this video. So I'm sorry for my English, is not my mother tongue. Bye.